Okay, students. See, in yesterday's class, we have derived one equation, ideal gas equation. That is, PV is equal to nRT equation we have derived. Here, pressure is P is pressure, V is volume, N is number of moles, R is a universal gas constant, and T is temperature. Now, what is R from here? R value is PV upon NT. Okay. Now let us write the SI unit of R. What is R? R is universal gas constant. Universal gas constant, and its SI unit is I am writing. What is P? P means pressure. Pressure SI unit what? Pascal. Or it can be written as Newton per meter square. No? Yes. What is V? Volume. Volume SI unit meter cube upon. N means what? Number of moles means moles. Okay. And T is what? Kelvin. SI unit I am writing. So meter square, meter cancel. What do you get? Newton into meter upon mole Kelvin. Yes, you know, Newton into meter is nothing but joule. Correct? Yes. Joule per mole Kelvin. This is the SI unit of universal gas constant. It is important. Okay. What is the SI unit of universal gas constant? Joule per mole Kelvin. Okay. And the value of a universal gas constant value is 8.314 joule per mole hyphen Kelvin. Yes, this value is very important. You need to remember this value. 8.314 joule per mole Kelvin. Clear? Yes. Now, see, this one still we can write in calories also, because we know, sorry, as we know that 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 joules, correct? That implies 1 joule will be equal to 1 divided by 4.2 calorie, correct? Yes. Means R value will become 8.314. In the place of joule, you write 1 by 4.2 calorie. Means it will become divided by 4.2 calorie per mole Kelvin. Okay. Yes. Means 8.314 divided by 4.2. It is around 1.98 nana. 1.98 calorie per mole Kelvin. This also you need to remember. Okay. Remember this value also. Okay. 1.98 or around it is 2. It is around equal to 2 calorie per mole Kelvin. Okay. Remember these two values. This value and this value. R value. What is our universal gas constant? Its value is 8.314 joule per mole Kelvin. It is mole, remember, okay? And in calories, it will be equal to 2 calorie per mole Kelvin or 1.98 calorie per mole Kelvin. Clear? Yes. Now, what are the dimensions of R value? Dimensions of R. Let us write dimensions of R. Dimensions what? See R. SI unit what? Joule per mole Kelvin. What is joule? Joule means nothing but kg meter square per second square. Has joined with others name. Who is that fellow? No, no new person, Nana. All are our students only. Okay, good. See, students, don't disturb others. Don't send messages to others. However, in my class, it is not possible. I have kept option to send messages to only for a host. Okay, not possible. But don't disturb others. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, coming back to this point, there is a dimensions of R. So joule is what, na? Kg meter square per second square. Okay. Okay. Divided by mole Kelvin. Okay. Now symbol I am writing dimensions. Kg means m. Meter means L square. T power minus 2. Mole inverse. Kelvin inverse. Yes. These are the dimensions of R. Remember these dimensions. Important dimensions, Nana. Okay. Yes. So universal gas constant SI unit is joule per mole Kelvin, and its dimensions are m L square T power minus 2 mole power minus 1 Kelvin power minus 1. Okay, the value of universal gas constant is 8.314 joule per mole Kelvin. Clear? Yes. Now we are going to discuss about assumptions of kinetic theory of gases. Kinetic theory of gases. See, in order to study the gas laws, means Boyle's law, Charles law, Gay-Lussac law, Avogadro's law, these are laws. Rudolf Clausius, name of the scientist, and one more other scientist, they have given some points about the gases, means when they are in motion, how they will behave, and what are the point we need to consider. Okay, and those points are called as assumptions of kinetic theory of gases. First point is first point is all gases consist of molecules. Simple point. Second point is molecules of one gas. If you consider one particular gas, in that particular gas, molecules are same. Molecules of one gas are same, alike, and they are different for different molecules, different gases. If you consider different gases, the molecules of that gases will be different. But you consider one particular gas. In that particular gas molecules will be of same size, same kind. Okay, na? Clear? Yes. Now, third assumption is the size of gas molecules. The size of gas molecules is small, negligible, as compared to distance between the molecules. If we consider one particular gas, in that particular gas, the size of gas molecules will be very small, negligible sizes, as you compare to the distance between the two gas molecules. Okay. And fourth point is the molecules of a gas are spherical in shape, small spherical balls, like they will be like a small spherical balls, they will be. Okay, all the gas molecules, they will be like a small spherical balls. Okay, and fifth point, very important point, is all gas molecules are in random motion along all directions. So in a container, for example, in one particular container, you consider a gas molecules. That gas molecules will be free to move randomly. They will move in all directions. Clear? Okay. So when the gas molecules are randomly, when they are moving, they will collide with the other molecules and with the walls of the containers. Okay. So there will be some collisions between gas molecules and walls of the container. Okay, and these all collisions are elastic in nature. No, elastic in nature. Elastic collision will be there. Sorry, it is not writing. Sorry. The collision between the gas molecules and with the walls of the container will be elastic in nature. Okay, so while they are colliding with the walls of the container, they will transfer their momentum, means they will exert some pressure on the walls of the container. Okay, this is very important point. The gas molecules, when they are in random motion, they will exert some pressure on the walls of the container. Clear? Okay, yes. Next point is the effect of gravity. Gravity is negligible on the motion of gas molecules. These gas molecules, when they are in motion, effect of gravity will be negligible. Means, for example, you see, for example, you see gas molecule is moving like this. Okay, if effect of gravity is present, instead of going in straight line, it will go like this. Means they will not deviate from their path due to gravitational force. This will not be there. This effect, acceleration due to gravity effect, will not be there. So they will move in straightened path. They will not undergo any deflection due to gravitational force. Okay, clear? And last very important point is, these, according to kinetic theory of gases, there is no interaction force. No interaction force between gas molecules. Very important point, Nana. Gas molecules. Sorry. If there is no interaction force between the gas molecules, means potential energy is negligible. Potential energy between gas molecules is
0. That implies energy of gas molecule is nothing but potential energy plus kinetic energy. Because potential energy is 0. Potential energy is 0. Just now I said, as interaction force between the gas molecules is negligible. So potential energy is 0. That means total energy of gas is only due to kinetic energy of gas molecules only. It is due to only kinetic energy of gas molecules. Clear? This point is important. This point is 8th point, and it is important point. Okay, means when I am discussing about ideal gas equation, I told you this point. What is ideal gas? Ideal gas is one in which interaction force between the gas molecules is negligible. Due to that, what will happen, Anna? Only kinetic energy will be responsible for the total energy of the gases. Clear? Are you understanding? Yes. See, students, this is only the problem. See, only 36 students are there. Your attendance is very important. Okay, now let us derive very important derivation, that is pressure exerted by gas. Very important, Nana. Okay, pressure exerted by gas. Let us derive this very important derivation. I think so they may ask you this derivation to derive in board exam, and this formula whatever you will get in the last, from that formula you will get 3 to 4 formulas again, and that all formulas are very important for your competitive exams. Many times it will be useful for you. So if you want to remember that all 4 formulas or 5 formulas, means you need to remember this derivation. Clear? Okay. Yes. Now let us derive this. So this derivation will come from these assumptions, whatever we have discussed till now. From these assumptions only, this derivation will come, Nana. Okay. Yes. Now one by one, let us discuss. Let us consider one container. Let us consider one container. Let us consider like this. One cube. Let us consider. Okay. Oh, shape is changing. Perfectly not came. Yes. Why it is changing shape? Yes. Yes, like this one cube, let us consider, and let us imagine this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis. Let us suppose, okay, and later this will be the origin. Okay, now let us consider there one gas molecule. Let us imagine inside this volume of this container, there are n number of molecules are there. Small n means number of molecules per unit volume are present. That means small n is nothing but total number of molecules per unit volume. Important factor, remember this. Means what I am taking, I have considered one container, one vessel. Okay. And in this vessel, I am considering there are some n number of molecules are present. How many number of molecules? Small n number of molecules per unit volume. Means in this throughout this total volume of this container, this tube, there are small n number of molecules are present. Okay. Now these gas molecules, what they will do, Nana? According to kinetic theory of gases, they will be in random motion, random directionally, along x-axis, along y-axis, along z-axis. Randomly they will move. They will move along some x-axis. They will move. Some gas molecules will move along y-axis. Some gas molecules will move along negative y-axis. Some gas molecules will move along negative x-axis. Like that, in all directions they will move. Let us suppose. Okay. Yes, they will exert pressure. Okay. Yes, that pressure we need to derive. Okay. Now let us suppose the molecules which are moving along x-axis velocity is vx. Some molecules they are moving along y-axis with a velocity vy. Some molecules they are moving along z-axis with a velocity vz. Now total velocity of gas molecules can be written as under root of vx square plus vy square plus vz square. No. Yes, then total velocity square can be written as, and sorry, it can be written as vx square plus vy square plus vz square. Are you understanding what I am saying? Some gas molecules, some n number of gas molecules are present. In that, some are moving along x-axis, some are moving along y-axis, some are moving along z-axis. Okay, due to that velocity, some are having vx velocity, some are having vy velocity, some molecules are having vz velocity. Now total gas velocity, how much? This can be written as v square is equal to total velocity of total gas is vx square plus vy square plus vz square. Just remember this equation, later it will be useful for you. Okay, clear? Yes. Now let us consider the gas molecules which are moving only along x-axis. Those molecules which are moving along only x-axis, let us consider. So let us imagine this is my hand. Okay, this is my hand. I think so you are able to see, and gas molecules are here along moving. They are moving along x-axis. One gas molecule, let us consider. Okay, and it is moving along x-axis. What will happen? It will go and it will hit the wall of the container like this. Then what will happen? Again it will return back. This collision, whatever I said, it is a elastic collision. I said what I said, elastic collision. So in elastic collision, we discussed already. One body, heavier body means wall, which is in rest position. Another body, small body, which is in motion. After collision, what will happen? It will return back with same velocity. Clear? Yes. Now let us suppose one gas molecule or particle having mass, it is having mass small m moving with vx velocity. That implies its momentum, how much along x-axis? mvx. This is initial momentum. Do you know? Yes. Means with velocity, the gas molecule, it is moving in this direction. Means its momentum along x-axis is mvx. This is the initial momentum. After the collision, what happened, Nana? After collision, what happened? Gas molecule returns back. Correct? With what velocity? With same velocity. Yes or no? Because I told you that assumption collision is elastic collision. If elastic collision is there, means it has to return back with the same velocity. Means finally along x-axis only it will return, but final velocity how much, Nana? Minus mvx. Are you understanding what I am writing? Minus indicates it is coming in reverse direction. So momentum finally is this much. Okay. Now what is change in momentum? Finally, what is the change in momentum of the gas molecule? Change in momentum of the gas molecule, we can write. Change in momentum along x-axis can be written as minus mvx minus mvx. I think so you understand. Okay, I'll write it from basic equation. Change in momentum means what, na? P final minus P initial. Yes, P final what, na? Minus mvx minus P initial again mvx. Total is minus 2 mvx. Correct? Yes. Good, Nishal. Huh? Yes. See, number of student only 32 became important derivations, na? Okay. Due to like this, if we'll get less number of students, no, our interest will go down. Okay, let it be. So changing momentum of gas molecule, one gas molecule. I am talking about one gas molecule. How many number of gas molecules are there? Small n number of gas molecules are there. Already I told you. I am talking about one gas molecule. So it is collide with the gas walls of the container, it returns back. Changing momentum how much? Minus 2 MV. Okay, like this, how many gas molecules are there? Small n number of gas molecules are there. Okay, now total number of gas molecules how many? Okay, one gas molecule we have discussed, but there are n number of molecules. N molecules are present. What is that n? N is nothing but number of molecule per unit volume into volume of that container. Correct? Yes, see here I have written. I'll come back to that. What is this? See, first box I have written here. See, this from this I have written. Okay, na? Yes. Now let us come back to this equation. Okay. Now, but what is this V? How many gas molecules are colliding in particular time interval? In a particular time interval, let us imagine. Let us calculate change in momentum in a time interval of delta t. Within a time of delta t, how much momentum is changing? This can be written like this. Within a time of delta t, how many gas molecules are colliding with the walls of the container? Within a time of delta t, let us come back to yes, wait, I'll take mouse. It will be easy for me to scroll down. 1 second. Yes, students. Yeah, see, within a time of delta t, how many gas molecules are colliding? That we need to find. So for that, let us consider the gas molecules. See where it is. Come back to this diagram. Yes, see in this diagram, see the gas molecules are colliding with this area. With this area, they are colliding. Correct? Yes. So on this area, imagine this area of cross section is capital A. This area of cross section is capital A. Yes. In this area, how many gas molecules are colliding? Means within a time of delta t, how many gas molecules are moving here? How many gas molecules are moving? That many gas molecules are colliding. Okay, na? Clear? Yes. Now, this delta T, let us imagine, we know volume is equal to area into some length we can write. Clear? Yes. So this length, we know length is nothing but distance. Distance we can write it as velocity into time. Velocity is Vx. With what velocity they are moving along x-axis? Vx velocity. So Vx into time we can write. Means volume we can be written as A into Vx into delta T. Did you understand what I am saying? So here, whatever I am writing here, see this point. On this area of cross section, let us imagine some gas molecules are moving. How many gas molecules are moving? The gas molecule which are lying in this area, in this volume, they are moving. In this volume, how many gas molecules are there? That is nothing but the volume of this cylinder, imaginary cylinder, whatever I have drawn, into number of molecules. Imaginary cylinder volume, how much? This is the volume of imaginary cylinder. Got it? Clear? Yes. So number of molecules that are present in a cylinder of length Vx into delta T and area capital A is N is equal to small n into volume. Small n into volume can be written as area into length. That means small n into area into length is Vx into T. Yes, this many number of molecules are present. Delta T it is. Okay. Sorry, this is delta T. Okay. Now, total change in momentum of gas molecules. Okay. Yes. Now, see in this gas molecules, this many are present, no? N, A, Vx into dt are present. But in this, they are moving along x-axis we have discussed. But in this, we don't know whether all are moving along x-axis or some are moving in negative x-axis also, we can imagine. So that's why on an average, half of molecules moving along positive x-axis. That implies number of molecules will become NaVx into delta T divided by 2. Now total change in momentum. Total change in momentum of gas molecules, and not molecule now molecules is how much? Is delta P is nothing but change in momentum of one molecule, that is 2mvx minus into number of molecules NaVx into delta T. Are you understanding? Sorry, delta T divided by 2. Okay. Total gas molecules change in momentum. One gas molecule change in momentum into number of molecules. So 2 cancel. You'll get total change in momentum is minus m Vx square A delta T into N. Okay. Yes. Now let us take delta P by delta T is what, Nana? Minus Nm Vx square into A. What is this delta P divided by delta T, Nana? Momentum by time according to Newton's second law. Dp by dt is nothing but force. Means the force exerted by gas along x-axis is minus n m vx square into a. Clear? Yes. F is equal to ma. But according to Newton's second law, F is equal to dp by dt. No. From there I am writing. Clear? dp by dt is force, we can write. No, changing momentum by time is force. That's why. Okay. Yes. Now let us take area also that side. Okay. Area also let us take that side. You'll get fx upon area is equal to before taking area that side, let us first write this is what, Nana? Fx is equal to minus n m vx square into a. This is what force exerted by the gas along x-axis. Means according to Newton's second law, Newton's third law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction we are having. That means the walls also exert some opposite force. How much force the walls will exert on the gas? That is nothing but Fx is equal to negative sign will remove. Okay, this is the force exerted along x-axis. Okay, so then what is force upon area? That is nothing but n m vx square. Now we know force upon area is nothing but pressure. That is pressure along x-axis is n m vx square. As we know, the gas in a cylinder or in any container, in any closed container, will exert pressure along x-axis, along y-axis, along z-axis also. That means if gas molecules are moving along x-axis, this much pressure is there. Along y-axis, how much pressure is there? Again, n m vy square pressure will be there. This is similarly I am writing. No need to derive again. Okay, and along z-axis also same will be there. Along z-axis also same will be there. What is that? N m vz square. Now, as we know that any gas will exert pressure in all directions equally. It will exert pressure. Means px, py, pz, all directions of pressure will be same. Pressure in all directions will be same. Clear? That means total pressure can be written as 1/3 times of pressure px plus py plus pz. Clear? That means it will become 1/3 times of n m vx square plus vy square plus vz square. That means this pressure exerted by the gas will become P is equal to 1/3 times of n m vx square plus vy square plus vz square. Okay, this just equation I have written v square. This v square is nothing but